everyone, welcome to Alma Pilates and Yoga. My name is Marisol, and in this class today, it's going to be a full body class, and it's going to have some elements that are a little bit more complex, some elements that are a little bit simple, but of course I'm always going to give you some options. So if you're a beginner, don't be afraid of trying this class, and then if you have a little bit more experience, this will still feel like a really good class for you. So let's go ahead and get started, but before we do, actually, I do want to remind you that these classes on YouTube are going to be anywhere from 20 to 25 minutes, whereas my classes on Patreon are pre-recorded, but they are 40, 45, and 50 minutes long. And of course, you can always take a live class with me on my website, almapilatescenter.com. So about 3 different options for you to choose from. All the details will be in the description box down below. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Laying down on our back on the mat. Okie doke. All right, so once we're on our back, your feet are going to be on the floor, separated just by a little bit. I want you to reach the arms up to the ceiling. Actually, change my mind. Bring the legs all the way together. There we go. That feels a little bit better, but your knees are still bent. So reach the arms up to the ceiling. Take a big inhale and exhale. Press the arms down at a chest lift. Try to get the shoulder blades off of the mat if we can. Hold it here for a moment. See if you can stretch the fingertips forward a little bit more and pressing forward with the chest so that it's easier for the neck to balance the weight of the head. Other than that, inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Exhale, arms down, chest lift, hold. Good. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, arms down, chest lift, hold. Good. And let's do that just a few times just to get the upper back mobile and supple, get our breath going. Let's go for 3, 2, and last one. We're just going to add another layer to this. So try that again. Inhale, reach up and over. This time when your arms press down and you add a chest lift, bring the legs to tabletop. Good. Now when you lower the chest down, reach the arms overhead, lower the feet down as well. You can barely tap, or you can rest your feet all the way down and repeat. Let's go for 5. Just preparing for our hundreds here. 4. Pulling the belly button down and in. 3. And 2. Great job, everyone. Last one. Arms down, chest lift. Hold it here. Good. All right. So you can pause here in this position with the legs in tabletop, or you can start to straighten the legs out. The lower you go, the more challenging it is. And we're going to pump the arms 1 inch up, 1 inch down. As we inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And exhale, 2, 4, 5. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Continue. Now, as we're doing this, what I like to challenge my students to do is on your next inhale, lower one leg down. And on your exhale, lift it back up. Switch to the other leg. Inhale, 2, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hug the knees into the chest. Good. And now from here, keep this position. Put your hands on top of the legs. Lift your chest lift up. Hold it here. Hug the right knee into the chest. Extend the left leg out long. Inhale, exhale, switch. Other side. Good. Again, still warming up the muscles in the front of the body. If your neck starts to get tired here, you can always rest the head, neck, and shoulders down. That's always an option. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stretch both of your legs. Relax the arms down. Okay, we're gonna do a roll up. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Just give your body a full stretch, and exhale, arms down, chest lift, just like our hundreds, but this time the fingertips are gonna go forward, lift the chest, come up to a seated position, sitting up really, really tall, and exhale, Pull the waistline back, slowly roll on down. Now let's try this at our own pace. So you don't have to go at the same speed that I'm going at. And if you need to bend your knees in order to help you come up a little bit easier, try that, okay? So as we're doing this, I want you to think about when your spine lowers down, think about going down piece by piece. And I'll show you that in just a second. So I'm sitting up tall, my spine is straight. I'm going to inhale, exhale, pull the waistline back, tuck the tailbone, and then slowly press the low back down, the mid back, upper back, and stretch up. Let's do that one more time. Exhale all the way up. And lower back down. Good. All right, hug the knees back into the chest. One leg at a time is fine. Hands on top of the legs. Inhale to prepare, exhale, lift the chest, fold it here. Good. All right, so similar to what we did before, only this time our legs are straight. Reach the right leg up to the ceiling and extend the left leg out in front of you. You can hold on to the right leg here if you want to. Inhale, exhale, switch, grab the other leg. Switch, grab the other leg. Good. Now, if flexibility is just not there today and you want to go back to grabbing the knee instead, that's totally fine. You can also keep a slight bend in the top leg too. It's not completely necessary to straighten your leg all the time, or if you're feeling tight. Good, and then use your arm muscles to help your chest lift a little bit higher. So it's not meant to make the ab work any easier. It's actually just meant to make it a little bit nicer for your neck. The higher the chest is lifted, the more the neck can balance out the weight of the head. Let's go for 3, 2, 1. Grab the left leg, lower the right leg down, hands behind the head. Use the hands to support the weight of the head and rotate the upper body towards the leg and switch other side. If you're doing this and you need to bend the knee instead in order to cross from one side to the other, go for it. Now, also, another thing to think about is not letting the legs or the hips wobble from side to side too much. Try to think about keeping the hips anchored down. That's your anchor point. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to center, hug the knees into the chest, rest the upper body down. All right. Hands down by your sides, bring your legs to tabletop. I'll give you another option in a second, but let's get started with this one. Squeeze the inner thighs. Inhale, lower the toes down, tap the floor, exhale, lift. Inhale, lower down, tap the floor, exhale, lift. Good. And if you can hear the car outside revving its engine, I apologize. I work by a busy street, so sometimes that happens. Good. Now, one thing I like to do here, but first you gotta make sure that your hips are, again, anchored down. I'm not letting my hips kind of move and shift forward and back as I do this, is I like to reach my arms up to the ceiling as my legs lower down and exhale, lift. Now, my hips do shift a little bit when I lower down. I like to press my low back into the floor. It just helps me engage a little bit more, and then exhale to lift. Try that for 4, 3, 2, and last one. Bring it up. Awesome. And from here, hug the knees into the chest again. Lengthening the low back, hands on top of your shins. Inhale. Exhale, lift the chest one last time. We're gonna hold it here, almost like the knees are trying to get to the forehead. You're not gonna touch, don't worry, it's not necessary. From here, option number 1. Extend the right arm, right leg away from you and bring it back in. Other side. Inhale, exhale, away. Bring it back in. Good. Now, as you do this, this is option number 1, of course. Option number 2, which is a little bit more challenging, extend both arms, both legs at the same time. Inhale and exhale to round the arms, hug the knees in. Get the chest up a little higher if you can. That's always helpful. Think about stretching those arms. Like we're trying to make snow angels with the arms out to the side. I like to exaggerate my breath a little bit on this one. I don't know why, it just feels good. Let's go, last 3, 2, 1. Good, and rest the feet down. Okay, from here, hands down by your side, separate your feet about hip width distance apart. Okay, now exhale, tuck the tailbone, press the low back down, and lift the hips up towards the ceiling. Inhale up at the top, and exhale, slowly lower the spine back down. Good, inhale. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, lift the hips up. Inhale, exhale, slowly lower the spine back down. Now, I want you to go at a pace that feels really good for you. It doesn't have to match my pace. And one thing to think about too, and I find that this happens a lot to my clients in person or online, is when you lift the hips up, try not to let the knees separate too wide apart. You definitely want a little bit more of the inner thighs to be engaged, and you just do that by bringing the knees a tiny bit closer together. Now let's hold this position and try that. Doesn't have to be a big noticeable change as long as you notice it in the way you feel. All right, so from here, hands down by your sides. Try to keep the shoulders pressing down, the heels pressing down as much as possible, and the hips really still. Bring the right leg to tabletop and then plant it down. And then the left leg to tabletop and plant it down. So here, shifting the weight from side to side and then trying to do it as smoothly as we can. Keeping the hips lifted, of course, finding that extra challenge. Whew. I can already feel my bun coming apart. All right, we're just gonna have some messy hair when I get up. That's all right. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, encouraging the backside to wake up a little bit. Last one, both feet down, fold it here. Good, readjust the hips, make sure that they're high, and exhale, lower the spine back down. Ooh. Awesome, everyone. All right, from here, walk your feet away from you just a little bit. Knees can be bent or legs straight. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead like a little stretch, and we're gonna roll up. Arms down, chest lift, look forward, and push the fingertips forward to come all the way up to seated so that we can turn to face our side. Okay, so from here, start by sitting on your hips first and your knees are stacked. The bottom hand, in this case, this is my right arm. I always forget what it looks like on the screen, but anyway, right hand, left arm up to the ceiling. I'm gonna lift my hips up and hold it here. So there should be a straight line from the knees through the torso to the crown of my head. Once I have this position, extend your top leg away and we're just barely gonna tap the floor. We're not gonna rest the foot down just yet. When you're ready, exhale. Use the outer thighs, use the outside of the side of the body to lift the leg and lower it down. Now height here isn't really what I'm gonna focus on. I'm just gonna focus on engaging those muscles and then lowering it back down after that. Trust me, those side muscles are gonna work. Don't you worry about that. Exhale to lift, inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. Let's go for 8, 7, shoulders away from the ears. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Place the foot down. Now you can rest a little bit of weight on that foot. Reach the top arm up and over. This is gonna be our side over for today. And then when you exhale, lower back down. Lower the hips, but barely. We're barely tapping the mat. And inhale, reach up and over. Push the floor away from your rib cage and lower down. Or push your rib cage away from the floor. Inhale. And exhale. Awesome. If you're feeling the side of your body right now, especially the muscles, the lat muscles, or the part of the muscle that comes right over the rib cage, that's where you want to feel when you're pushing the body away. Of course, the side of the bottom leg might feel a little work too. Let's go for 3, 2, 1. Hold this side plank position. I'm just going to readjust my hands here. Side plank position. My top foot is gonna find a way to ground itself in the floor so that I can lift my bottom knee 8 times. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax back down. Just a little wake up of the inner thighs, just a little bit more work for the upper body, nothing too crazy. All right, let's switch over to the other side. So we're on our knees, or on our hips, sorry, knees stacked, knees bent, hand down on the floor, and then when you're ready, exhale, come up onto the hips. All right, top arm reaches up. Extend the top leg out long to the side, and when you're ready, exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Whew. I love this exercise, but it's killer on the rest of the body. All right, so as we're doing this, try not to look down if you can, unless that feels relieving for any tension in the neck. Just find a spot you really enjoy, keep it there. Let's go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, shoulders away from the ears, 2, push your rib cage away a little bit more, 1, and relax. Now from here, reach the top arm up and over, give yourself a little side stretch, and then lower down. Good, inhale, reach up, and exhale, lower down. Try that a few times. Taking a moment to enjoy the stretch, enjoy the flow of the exercise. Let's go for 5. 4, focusing on the push and the stretch. Taking it at your own pace. 3, 2, and the last one, find your side plank position, and when you're ready, 8 lifts of the lower leg. Let's go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower it all the way down. All right, from here we are going to lay down on our tummies, prone position facing the floor for a little bit of back extension. All right, hands below the shoulders. Your legs are straightened out long. You're looking at the floor. Inhale and exhale all the air out so it feels like you're melting into the mat. Okay, one more inhale. This time we're gonna lift the chest, push the hands into the floor. Keep your elbows tight by your waistline like you're squeezing your armpits, and then lower back down. Now here, we're just moving to the height the body feels comfortable in. As your back starts to warm up a little bit more, you might find more height that way, but other than that, there's really no need to push it. Good. Now, a lot of you guys are going to be focused on the shoulders, which is completely understandable. At times we're told shoulders away from the ears. I say it all the time myself. But for right now, just focus on the range of motion that your back is giving you, and then start to think about other details like that. Good. Let's go for 3. Just kind of flowing with it. 2. And last one, maybe getting a little higher for this last rep. And place one forearm down, and then the other. All right, from here, your forearms are pressing into the floor, you're pressing the chest away from the floor, and then you're gonna lift the legs. So it kind of feels like the knees or the kneecaps are lifted off of the floor, but you're not gonna bend the knees to do that, okay? All right, from here, exhale, pulse the right heel to the glute 2 times. Exhale those 2 times as well. So it's gonna look like this. Exhale, exhale, stretch, other side. Exhale, exhale, stretch. You can flex the foot if you want to. I like to point my foot a little bit more for this one. I just feel like the hamstring curls deeper, in my opinion, for my body. So go ahead and feel free to do whichever one you like. It's always interesting to see what variations people like to do, but the reality is we all feel it differently in our body. So if pointing the feet helps, great. If flexing the feet helps, let's do that. Unless there's a specific reason an instructor might want you to do a point or a flex, then it's good to try that too. Let's go for 5. Try to keep the knees lifted the entire time. 4, 3, 2, 1. And straighten the legs. Good. And relax the legs down for just a second. Now from here, we're going to lower the chest to the floor. Reach the arms back behind you, palms facing down. Looking to the mat, but keeping your neck long and lifted. Lift the legs, hold it here, palms facing down. Pull the arms back and up and inhale lower. Exhale back and up and inhale lower. Now, you don't want the hands to be too far away or too spread apart from your hips. You want actually your hips to be, or your hands to be really close to the hips as you pull the arms up an inch and down an inch. Good. Let's go for 4, 3, keep the legs lifted, 2, 1, pause, flip the palms to face your hips, and again, pull the arms up an inch, down an inch, up an inch, down an inch. Let's go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one. Flip the palms to face the ceiling. Your arms are still tight by your waistline. Press the arms up an inch, down an inch. Let's go for 8, 7. Feeling the muscles of the triceps here. 6. Upper back as well. 7, 8. Keep the legs active. 5, I think. 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax it down. Oh. You know, just another Pilates instructor giving their student trust issues. We cannot count, as you can tell. Hands underneath the shoulders, legs all the way together. On a count of 3, we're going to push ourselves onto hands and knees. 1, 2, 3. Push away from the floor. Come onto your hands and knees and press the hips back. Stretch out your low back here. We worked quite a bit there, so make sure to give it that length. And exhale, slowly roll on up. Whew. Pull the shoulders up, back, and down. All right, we're not done yet. We're almost there. We're actually going to go back onto our hands and knees to do a little bit of a plank series. So, hands and knees. Just me moving my mat everywhere. I like to go on my knuckles. It just feels better in my wrist for prolonged planks, which is what we're doing. Extend the leg out long, and then the other. So I always like to imagine that I'm standing doing this, and I'm pushing the wall away from me. Next time you're standing, try that. Lean up against the wall with your hands outstretched in front of you. And that's the posture that ideally you would want when you're doing planks. Now, of course, it's a little different. Gravity's pulling down on you. So what I want you to think about is pushing the chest away, but also finding a height that you feel comfortable with the hips. So a little lower might engage the glutes, which is always nice. But if you feel your low back overworking more than the glutes, then maybe lift the hips up a little bit, and that'll relieve some tension off the low back, but it'll push a lot of weight into your upper body. So just keep that in mind for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest the knees down, press the hips back. Good. Holding here, stretching the arms. Okay, now come onto your knees. We have second to last thing here, if I remember correctly. All right, forearm on top of forearm. Okay, we're coming straight up right over the knees. So nothing else bends. We're going to imagine that we're a flat plank of wood. All right, with that being said, lean back, press your way into the feet, into the shins as you lean back here. Hold and exhale, press up. Now, here, I'm going to talk you through a few different things. Just continue to do the movement. When you lean back, you should feel your quads engage. And then as you push up, you're squeezing through the glutes to push up. All right? Of course, you might feel other things as well, but that's the main idea. Inhale to lean. Exhale to squeeze and push. Whew. Oh, this one always gets me. Whenever I think my quads are really strong, this is a great humbling exercise. Let's try that one more time. Let's add to it, in fact. Hold it here. Exhale, rotate the upper body to the right. Inhale, come back. Exhale, rotate the upper body to the left and come back. One of the things I like to do in my live classes is I always ask my students, what can make this more challenging? And do we want that? Of course, we also have like 50 minutes to explore all the options and really get a intense workout in. Let's go, last 3, 2, 1. Come back to center, come all the way up. Oh, man, my thighs. All right, let's take the hands, place them on the floor. Tuck your toes. You're gonna press your hips up and back into the downward dog position. Hold it here. Whew. All right, bend the right knee, switch, bend the left knee. Switch, bend the right knee. Switch, bend the left knee. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Now lower the knees down, press the hips back. And then slowly roll on up to a seated position. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down a few times. All right. And we're all set to go. I hope you guys felt good after that short workout. You know, even though workouts are short, it should always leave you feeling a little bit better, a little bit taller, a little bit stronger. So please let me know in the comment section down below how you felt after taking that short-ish class. And don't forget that if you want to participate in one of my live classes, I have a live Pilates class on Thursdays. You can check that out on almapilatescenter.com. And then, of course, you've got my Patreon account with pre-recorded classes, as well as recordings of old classes on there as well. So check all of those things out. They're in the description box down below. And I hope you guys have a really great day, and hope to see you in my next class.